Kelly's Kitchen. Let me teach you a recipe and also make you feel really good about yourself.
Hello lovely humans. So I know it is nighttime, but I've decided to make another Kelly's Kitchen video, and I'm really excited. I was just really in the mood to cook tonight. I had a super long day, and what is more comforting than soup? So tonight I'm going to be making one of my signature soups. I basically survived off of this all last winter. It's super comforting, super great for fall, and it is my curry, mushroom, and yellow pepper soup. Very warming with a little bit of spice, and it is absolutely one of my favorites and very, very simple to make. And since tonight I'm feeling kind of cozy and ready to wind down, I like to cook to relax, and I'm excited to be back in the kitchen again, and I hope you guys will enjoy watching me make this recipe. And of course I need a special guest, so I have Joy with me tonight. She hasn't been in a video in a while, but she kind of matches the color of the soup, so I thought it made sense. And we are going to be talking about a topic. Guys, it's like so weird to be making these topic while cooking videos again. I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I'm excited. We're going to be talking about how only you know what makes you happy and why you should always do so. And I'm sure you see this flickering flame over here. I will just fill you in. I kind of gave into my candle addiction a little bit, and I went shopping at Yankee Candle, and this one smells so good. It's called Farmer's Market, but it smells amazing, and I like to burn candles while I cook, so don't worry, nothing will set on fire. It might, because it's a Kelly's Kitchen video, so it might, but just cross your fingers, cross your fingers. So the ingredients that you need for my curry, mushroom, and yellow pepper soup are as follows. Mushrooms, quite obviously. A nice yellow pepper. We're only going to need a tablespoon of parsley for this one, so a bunch like this would be great. Some coconut milk. I have the reduced fat version that I could find because coconut milk is great for you, but it is pretty fattening, so I did decide to make this a little bit more of a low-fat, healthy version. I've made this in all different kinds of versions, but we're going to try it low-fat for tonight. And to go along with that, I got some organic vegetable broth, as you can see. So the first step to making this soup is going to be putting our vegetable broth on the stove. So we're just going to take our broth, pour the whole thing in, and then we're going to start cutting up our veggies. Okay, so we are going to want a half a cup of mushrooms. Usually I use crimini mushrooms, but tonight I'm going to be using just our regular white ones. But I would suggest if you could find them, using the brown ones. So first I'm going to cut those up. So we're just going to cut these up into little tiny chopped slices like this until we have enough to fill a half a cup. This is a little bit more than a half a cup, but you can never have enough mushrooms. So now we're just going to put these directly in our soup, and then we're going to move on to the pepper. By soup, I meant soup broth on the stove, guys, because it's not soup yet. Now we are also going to do a half a cup of pepper. And usually I just kind of do them in like little diced squares like this, so I cut it along long side. And then I do it once down the middle. Okay, once we have a half a cup of these, we're going to put them in our soup broth on the stove as well. And lastly, we're going to move on to our parsley. So we want a tablespoon of parsley, so about this much. So what I usually do is I usually rip off the leafy parts and kind of chop them up really fine. I'll show you. And if you do remember from my older videos, I still don't know cooking terminology very well, even though I watch a million cooking shows, which is kind of sad. But you know what? It's all about the passion, guys, and all about what makes you happy, and that's what we're going to be talking about soon anyway. So I kind of just keep cutting across like this until it's very fine. It might take a little bit of a while because you don't want big chunky pieces of parsley in there. You want it just for the flavor because this is what gives it a kick. So kind of just keep going back and forth until they're in little tiny pieces, and then we can add it to our broth. Okay guys, so our main veggies are in the soup. We're going to move over to the stove and start adding the spices. Alright, so we are going to be cooking by candlelight. How romantic is that? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to turn on our stove to a low heat. We're going to start it right away before we put any spices in it. So we're going to turn this up to about like a 6 or a 7, so like medium high. And the first thing we're going to add before any spices is our coconut milk. This is going to give it that great curry style. So for coconut milk, I usually do 1/4 cup. So I have my half cup measure. I'm going to do about half of this. If you want it to be a little bit creamier, I would suggest doing 1/3. Sometimes I do 1/3. It just depends on what you're in the mood for. So dump that right in. And we're just going to mix it around a little bit with a spoon. It should start to already look a little bit creamy in color. Okay, so the first of our spices we're going to add is our curry powder. This is super important. It gives the soup its main curry flavor. And we're going to do a tablespoon of that right in. A tablespoon seems like a lot, but it really gives it the perfect flavor. And then just mix that in. Then we're going to follow that up with a teaspoon of thyme. I don't know if you guys have used thyme. It's a spice I really like to cook with, and I use it in hummus a lot. And these measures, my sister actually got me for my birthday. Isn't that sweet? I love them. I use them all the time. So 1 teaspoon of thyme right in. Now this is enough for like 4 or 5 servings, so like don't freak out over the amount of spices, okay? Now we're gonna add our dried herby spices. We're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of oregano and 1/4 teaspoon of basil. And then we're gonna do 1/2 teaspoon of one of my favorite spices ever, garlic powder. I admit that I have a problem, guys. I can never be a vampire. And now we're going to kick it up into high gear and make it even spicier because I might be crazy. So we're going to do 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And if you want to skip on the black pepper, I would suggest skipping on it if you don't want it to be too spicy, because this is the spicy ingredient you really need in it, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which by the way is really good for you. And lastly, every soup needs a little bit of salt, so we're going to do 1 teaspoon of salt. This reminds me of the old days doing my video, guys, when I had my laptop and I was just dangling it over the stove. But here's an aerial shot of what it looks like, and we're just going to put the lid on that and we're going to turn it down to medium heat. Okay, so I put the lid on, I turned it down to medium heat, and now we're going to hang out and have a chat. Hey guys, so while we wait for our soup to finish cooking, let's have a little chat about how only you know when you're happy and if you're doing what makes you happy. Trust me, this is always true, and I thought this would be a great thing to talk about since I'm doing these cooking videos again. These were the first videos that I ever started really being dedicated to on my channel. If you guys have seen Kelly's Kitchen, my channel was originally just a cooking channel. But then I realized that my main passion was spreading positivity, sharing my stories, my journey, and what I've learned in different parts of my life, so I wanted to expand a little bit. But every once in a while, I miss the kitchen and I still want to cook. We gotta do things in our lives that make us feel happy no matter what, all the time. Just like Joy, who is happy all the time. I was going through a dark period of my life and I knew that I wasn't doing things that would light me up and make me feel good. And only you know inside when that is. I talk about this a lot on my Instagram channel where I do my nightly videos, but doing something that makes someone else proud of you, if you don't like it, it's not going to make you happy. Doing something that you think is going to impress other people and make you look good might make you look good, but it's also not going to make you happy. Only you know what really makes you happy inside. So how do you know that for sure? Well, I don't want to sound lame, but you kind of just feel it. You feel that spark. You feel that little kind of like excited feeling just naturally. And when you find the thing or the things or the people or the places or lifestyle choices that make you feel that little surge of excitement, and trust me, we all get that. That's how you know you're doing something right, and that's how you know you're really doing what makes you happy. For me, it's honestly making these videos. It's my channel, it's my passion. I love it, I care about it, and it took me a while to realize that. And for a long time, I was afraid to make these because I didn't think anyone would like them, and that almost deterred me from even doing them at all. But what I realized is at the end of the day, it's not about who likes them and who doesn't. It's that I like them. I like making them. They make me happy, and they're a good, healthy, positive thing that I could do for myself. I have lots of other things that I love and I'm passionate about, but this is one of the things that really stuck with me, and I'm so glad that I didn't give up on it. I'm telling you guys, you will know inside when you find that for you, and I'm sure you already have at some point. You just gotta pay attention to it, and it's as easy as that. So if you ever feel discouraged, remember, you can always find your inner joy. You just gotta listen to yourself and remember the times when you felt excited and you felt that sense of happiness. Now, while we wait for the soup to finish, I'm going to cuddle a little bit with Joy because I'm feeling super cozy and it's a great fall night, and I love making this soup, so I'm super glad that I got to do this, guys. So let's go see how it's doing. Alright guys, so once it is kind of simmering down a little bit and bubbling up a little bit, I'm going to turn it down to low, and we're going to let it sit for about like 5 or 6 minutes. And then we should have our soup. Alright guys, so I think this looks perfect. I would suggest kind of opening the lid and taste testing. Ooh, lots of steam. Taste testing one of the mushrooms or peppers. You don't want them too mushy, but you don't want them too firm. So I taste tested this, and to me, this is perfect. Actually, I should try one of the peppers just to be sure. It's really hot, guys. I'm basically a dragon. I'm just warning you. I'm crazy. Like, I literally drink steaming hot coffee and steaming hot soup, so you might want to wait a little bit if you can't handle the heat. Honestly, the peppers still need more time. So make sure the peppers are at least a little bit chewy, and then you can turn it off. Alright guys, so I think that looks perfect. As you can see, all the veggies are perfectly cooked. Pretty yummy. And he is back, the cutest little I own, this little dinosaur guy. So I am going to put some into a bowl. Oh, and the cutest bowl I own. I love these bowls. I have this one that says oxtail soup, and I have this other one that says mushroom soup. I don't know, my mom gave them to me, but I'm obsessed with them. I just think they're adorable. They're like super vintage. So let's try this soup. Soup by candlelight. But there you have it. There is the soup. I just wanted it to look pretty, but that's what it should look like. I am such a spaz with this tripod right now, guys, but yes, it is finished. But I am all done, and that is my curry mushroom soup. So thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you guys next time, and I'm going to enjoy this. And oh, happy fall.